Okay, this stream was such an emergency that I didn't even have time to really get set up over here. So, stuff in the title: Israel is threatening Gaza Strip. Good. Okay, as you may know, Hamas invaded Israel. After that, after all the rocket fire, Israel's retaliatory tactic was to just invade Gaza Strip. That's it. Just no rhyme or reason. Just oh, there's Hamas over there. There could be Hamas any fucking where, but you know. So now I get to cover this. I did not want to cover this on Friday the 13th. There were some other things that I wanted to do. I got to cover this. So, internal search, Israel Gaza update. Let's see. We're also moves. Let's see here. Civilians in northern Gaza warned to flee within 24 hours. That was 7 hours ago. Yeah, I'd say we just cover this. Al Jazeera, mind you, the I covered this 2 years ago on a VR chat live stream about the tale of two journalists. How an AP journalist got fired for her anti-Israel stance in college, and how Israel blew up the AP building in Israel. So it's the Associated Press. It's literally a journalist building. In any other context, it would be a violation of Geneva Conventions, but Israel can do whatever the fuck they want. They're not going to be sanctioned. They're and they will be backed by the United States. So, this mass exodus of northern Gaza. They're going to have to flee to southern Gaza. It's over 1 million people. And they have less than 24 hours. Woefully, we are on a genocidal warpath here, okay? This is one of the many steps in committing genocide, and Israel is actively committing genocide. So let's see what we got.
Where for 6 days now, the world has watched and waited for the full might of the Israeli response to the horrific attacks inflicted on it. Anticipated by many to be a massive invasion of the Gaza Strip, making good on its promise to destroy Hamas after last Saturday's brutal terror.
I don't think he knows what the fuck he just suggested. I think he needs to rewind a little bit there and kind of just recount in his brain what the fuck he just said. making promise on okay, all right, yeah, because that's how this is gonna work. Okay, yeah, attacking the entire strip of Gaza, that little tiny little landmass, to go after an invisible enemy, which who's to say Israel didn't install them in the first place? And I'll cover that in a minute too. I want to give some little bit of context what's going on, because there's some really fucked up shit. I'm probably gonna like switch back and forth to Vosh's stream. He already posted a video about 4 hours ago, a little bit more in depth. I'm just trying to do my part, and yeah, already. This is NBC. NBC is, of course, going to take the side of Israel and say Israel is the victim in this whole entire thing because, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to realize, okay, the Holocaust was the 1930s, okay? That was ages ago. We didn't get to experience that in person. You know, our generation, we didn't get to see that in person. What you're about to see, you're going to see in person, okay? In our generation, in our lifetimes, you are seeing an active genocide, an active Holocaust against the Palestinian people. And your government, your elected officials, are actively going to step on the sidelines and watch it all unfold as referees. Biden's not going to do anything. Trump certainly isn't going to do anything. So it doesn't matter who's in office. It doesn't matter if it was Trump in office. It doesn't matter if it was DeSantis in office. It doesn't matter if it was Biden in office. It doesn't matter whoever it is. The end result is the United States is going to back this Israeli-supported genocide. So,
terrorist rampage in southern Israel. The toll keeps getting worse. 1,300 in Israel now reported killed. More than 1,500 lives lost in Gaza as Israel steps up its bombing. At least 27 Americans have been killed. And the fate of as many as 150 hostages, including some Americans, remains uncertain tonight. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, who was here today, says the U.S. is doing everything it can to secure their release. I pressed him on when we spoke one-on-one. All as the humanitarian crisis in Gaza deepens. A UN agency estimates 340,000 Palestinians have been displaced as Israel's air campaign intensifies.
and you're cool with that, aren't you?
Tonight, Israeli airstrikes relentlessly bombarding Gaza with a potential ground invasion looming. Tensions escalating here for 6 days now. This newly released body camera video from Saturday shows Israeli forces firing at militants and freeing hostages during Hamas's attack. But perhaps the most disturbing images of this war so far were released today by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on social media.
Of course.
Photos of babies so horrifying that we will not show you.
Hamas has shown
Of course, because are you gonna show the IDF sniping Palestinian children? You're gonna show that? No, you're not gonna talk about that, are you? Should I show that on stream? So everybody's got some context, because I can find that on Google very fucking easily. I mean, I can't show it on YouTube. I can't show it on live stream, but it has happened. You know, fuck it. Wouldn't be doing my job now, would I? Oh, I'm just soccer. Video shows moment Israeli sniper shoots Palestinian. Khalil al-Maghrabi was an 11-year-old Palestinian boy who was killed while resting with his friend after a game of soccer. Protest dispersed, then an Israeli sniper shot a 9-year-old Palestinian boy in the head from 100 meters away. An IDF shot a boy in the head in the West Bank village of Kafar caught him. The boy exploded dozens of fragments. The child's brain now is in an induced coma. Okay, you know. And when was this posted? 2019. Continue arguing. Yeah, can't even read about it. Horrifying video shows of Israeli shooters shouting with joy after sniping unarmed Palestinian in Gaza. Israeli shooters sniping killing a Palestinian kid playing soccer. I'm not going to show it, but it's here. But yeah, Israel's the victim. How many babies? If we're going to do a whole baby by baby comparison, um, killing a baby is bad no matter how you look at it. Now it's just a matter of, let's count them up. Let's count how many babies, how many dead babies are there. If Israel has more dead babies than Palestinians, Israel's the victim. This report here has got me so pissed off. I don't even, yeah, whatever. Clearly it's fucking biased. It's doesn't kill doesn't kill while fleeing into southern Gaza. As is Al Jazeera. This is like, on the ground here, boots on the ground. Hamas officials say the live some people, mostly women and children, have been killed in Israeli airstrikes on convoys fleeing Gaza City. So airstrikes, and now they're giving them 24 hours, which actually it's less. It's now currently less than 24 hours to be able to get out of there. Um, so they're airstriking while giving them warning to leave because I guess they're going to completely level the entirety of northern Gaza. They're sending soldiers in. Israeli shelling hit a group of reporters in southern Lebanon, killing one Reuters journalist and injuring several others, including two from Al Jazeera. At least 1,900 Palestinians were killed and 6,388 wounded in Israeli air attacks on Gaza. In the occupied West Bank, Israelis killed 16 Palestinians on Friday, taking the Palestinian death toll in the region to 51 since the war began. Oh, I guess is that not enough? The number of people killed in Israel is reached 1,500 with more than 3,000 wounded. Human Rights Watch accused Israel of using white phosphorus in Gaza and Lebanon, putting civilians at serious risk. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. White phosphorus is banned by the Geneva Convention, so let's go ahead and look that up. Good, man. Oh, bull fucking shit. Last I heard, it was banned. In the U.S. Use in civilian areas is considered a war crime. So it is a war crime. Severe burns, yes, it will. It can. Secondary effects are used as supposed to be tightly regulated, and that's not. These are not military targets that they're using white phosphorus on. These are, civilians. I mean, not to, I'm trying to justify the use of white phosphorus. I'm just saying that the use of civilian areas is considered a war crime. So Israel is actively committing war crimes. Cool. With white phosphorus. See, Hamas is not a country. The IDF is part of a military operation that is part of a country. Hamas doesn't really have a home country. But I do want to show something, and I'm going to have to go back to Vosh's live stream to find it. I want to see it. So I'm going to see the video, and I'm going to draw a connection here. There is a video I do want to show. It's pretty fucked up. Vosh has just basically covered a lot of this before I ever got a chance to. Because I'm watching this kind of like, I'm watching his stream and I'm like, okay, I got to do something. So, let me see here. Israel is paying YouTube to place adverts like this before videos aimed at children. No words. So, yeah, Israel is putting some propaganda in. Let's see here. So that's of it. Okay. Okay, got it. All right, here we go. Babies can't read the text in this video, but their parents can. So they already know this is kind of fucked up. 40 babies were murdered by Hamas terrorists. We know you do. We know you do everything you could to keep your children safe. That's what we're planning on doing. Israel Foreign Affairs Ministry. So this is coming directly from the Foreign Affairs Ministry here. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. And this is played right before children's programming. So any videos on YouTube that children watch, this video plays before it. ISIS. So this is foreign affairs. This is official right here. Okay. Foreign Affairs Ministry. Okay. It's directly from Foreign Affairs. This is, government operation right here. Okay. Hamas terrorists, ISIS. okay, in parentheses, so everybody sees that. We'll make sure that they all see that. A fucking chat at. I kind of want to see. Ain't nobody commenting or anything. Yeah, okay. Of course you will. By committing mass genocide. Fucking propaganda. Disgusting. Absolutely fucking horrific. And this was posted October, 2 days ago. But I just want everybody, okay, we're gonna draw a line right here, okay? Okay. Just make sure that everybody sees that. Cool. So I'm gonna go back to Vosh's video because I made a comment on here. I hate when I get. Come on, chat. Where's chat? There it is. Okay. Need this. This. There we go. Okay. And make sure everybody can see. All right, cool. All right.
And I can say that the entire world has been shocked by the atrocities of ISIS.
Following the excerpt from a 1990 C-SPAN interview, this is from C-SPAN, kind of important, describes how the Israeli Prime Minister's office, the Israeli Prime Minister office officially refers to the organization Mossad as the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. Let's go ahead and watch that.
About how you try to find out what they call the Mossad when they deal with publicly?
I thought it was a reasonable question, but the trouble is you can't pick up the phone book. There's no Langley in Israel that you can look up, CIA, or in our case, the Mossad. We thought we should ask, what shall we call it in English? You can translate the Hebrew words, as I said, Mossad is institute, but when they write a letter to their friends in the CIA or the British intelligence, what do they call themselves? It took a while. It was a matter of asking the Prime Minister's spokesman. The best you could do, because officially the Mossad is under the Prime Minister's office. And I think he sort of wondered why you want to know and all that, so we explained. And he came up with the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. I mean, if it were to have initials, it would be ISIS. And he came up with the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. I mean, if it were to have initials, it would be ISIS. Wake up.
So if Israel's admitting that Hamas is ISIS, Israel's admitting that it was Israel. The Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. I mean, I'm just drawing a line here. I mean, these are, official people here. You have the Foreign Affairs Ministry right there admitting that it was ISIS, or at least categorizing it as being ISIS. And then you have that gentleman on C-SPAN from 1990. You don't really want to take it with a grain of salt, but just kind of like drawing the parallels there a little bit. Could it be that the whole attack in Israel was a false flag? Possibly. It's not difficult to install people to create crisis, such as what happened. Yeah, big, massive crisis, and 40 dead children. I'm sure Israel doesn't really care about dead children. I mean, they kill children all the time. So whatever, what's another dead child? Um, but it was justification, kind of like how 9/11 was used as to go invade Afghanistan over fucking puppies. Um, this is going to be used as justification to invade Gaza Strip and just systematically just push everybody out of Gaza. Mass genocide. 1.1 million people on a scale the world has yet to see, and and there's so many riverbeds, valleys, these little rickety bridges. I know what the plan is, okay? Um, Bottleneck them, okay? So everybody's gonna be bottlenecked to go and try to go across the bridge. Oh, look at that. Oh no, another unfortunate airstrike. Oh no, another airstrike. Oh no, another airstrike. You better get out of Gaza. You better be quick. Come on. You better get out. Oh, you're not allowed. No, don't you dare. Don't you dare come over here. Don't you come over here. Map. Just a regular map. Okay, so there's the border. We'll just show there was something. There we go. So here's the wall. Here's Trump's wall right here. This is what he kind of wanted to build across um, the entirety of Mexico. Okay, this kind of wall right here. Watchtower with cameras, double lined with barbed wire. Just looks like hell. Here we go. Israeli declared buffer zone. You can come over here. Egypt might let you in, but here's Gaza City. So this is Gaza City in Gaza. Everybody from here has to move all the way down to here. Oh, and there's no infrastructure. There's no no housing or anything like that. It's just, basically run for your life and hope that you live. Um, but as you can tell, big, big, big red line right there. No go area. Okay. I'm gonna pop up Vosh's stream and find this motherfucker right here. So, tell you what I can do. Uh, Israel orders for evacuation of 1 million in Gaza. 6 hours ago. Israel orders evacuation of 1 million. I want the actual dude that actually makes the statement. I gotta get his name. Um, he's one of them. He's one of the soldiers that is just kind of fucked in the head. I mean, I could put Wash up in there, and I could watch it from there. In fact, that might be the best thing I can do right now. Saves me the trouble. I don't think Vosh is gonna mind because we're on the same team here. So let's go ahead and do that. Skip to it. Here we go. Okay. All right, Vosh. All right. I want to get the exact moment here.
That's relevant.
And I have some updates for you to know regarding the operations and the war against Hamas.
Mm-hmm.
The situation during the night has been relatively quiet. relative to the last 6 days. Still rocket fire towards southern Israel. There are still terrorists that are attacking Israeli communities, or at least trying. Most of them have been repelled, killed, or taken into custody.
Fuck you.
But what I want to share with you first
Fuck you.
is a humanitarian step that the IDF is taking in order to minimize civilian casualties as this war unfolds.
Look at Vosh's face. Look at Vosh's face. Okay? Look at Vosh's face. Humanitarian effort.
Casualties as this war unfolds. And I would like to read verbatim.
He's pissed. As he should be. This is fucked. Okay? Fucked. Look at his face. I feel the exact same fucking way. They're trying a humanitarian effort. I'm sorry. What the fuck's humanitarian about a fucking genocide? Look, the most humane way to treat a Nazi is with the tribunal. That's the humanitarian way. Okay.
Word for word, the message that we sent, obviously in Arabic, to the local population in Gaza City, informing them of the need to evacuate from where they are for their own safety. This is the message. The IDF calls for the evacuation of all civilians from Gaza City. I'll zoom in a second. From Gaza City, from their homes, southwards for their own safety and protection, and to move to the area south of Wadi Gaza, the river Gaza, as shown on the map. We distributed this with a map as well. And in order to understand what we're talking about, Gaza City, a major center, the biggest center of population in the Gaza Strip. If we zoom in a bit, here we have Gaza City, and more to the south, Gaza River. You can see it here, this path. That is the Gaza River, and what the statement is saying that people...
Okay, the blue line was farther north than I thought. That doesn't change the math. It's still like 1 million people being moved. Okay, so they have like 1 or 2 more miles of space. It doesn't change anything that I said. Just mild technical detail.
People living in Gaza for their own safety should move south of this river. A river being something clear and understandable for everybody, whether or not they have a map or no. I'll continue to...
Keep in mind that crossing a river means that you're limited to crossing bridges. Like 1 million people, wounded, children, elderly, no water, no nothing, no medical supplies, moving across bridges.
The Hamas terrorist organization waged a
And
war against...
there are American citizens in Gaza that have no water, no electricity. I mean, it's good that we're getting video evidence of just how inhumane the conditions are in Gaza. And Israel's actively participating in trying to dehumanize the Palestinians. Israel wants Palestine dead. Pure blank simple. Using Hamas as, ironically, a human shield. If they use Hamas, then they can say, "Oh, well, see, we blew up that city in Gaza because we thought Hamas was there. Oh, we blew up the Associated Press building because we thought Hamas was there." Notice, every time that they have committed a mass atrocity against Palestine, they've always used Hamas as a smokescreen. Every single time. It's a war crime to blow up a press building. Israel is not going to be sanctioned for it. Israel has yet to be sanctioned for blowing up the AP building. This escalation, we'll go back in time. 1973. That's what this is all about. It is an anniversary.
Against the State of Israel, and Gaza City is an area where military operations are taking place. This evacuation is for your own safety. You will be able to return to Gaza City only when another announcement permitting it is made. Do not approach.
Meaning there will never be another announcement. There's not going to be another announcement. What's going to happen is that river is going to turn into the new border. The new Israeli border. As a swamp through northern Gaza. Anybody still living there? Dead. They don't care. It doesn't have to be 6 million people to be a genocide. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a. It could be 200,000. It could be 100,000. It could be just. It could be 10 people living in a certain area. It's still an active genocide. We're talking about 1.1 million. They're redrawing the borders. That simple. That simple.
The area of the security fence.
Now,
The state of
Vosh, the bridges across the river in Gaza are tiny rope bridges. Are you kidding me? What is the river called? I looked up Gaza River and I'm not seeing it. What is the river called? River in Gaza. Wadi Gaza? Is that? Yeah, Wadi Gaza. Okay. What is a wadi? What is a wadi? Arabic term referring to a river. What? How many bridge crossings are there across the valley? There have to be more. Google Maps. I hope you have detailed info. Where?
it's going to show the bridges.
The river valley. It's the how dense. We should be able to see it. Has to be here. Right here, see? That has to be a crossing. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a full road, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
That's a full road. That's a small road. Small road. Small road. Full road. Okay, okay. It's not just bridge crossings. Still trying to move like a million people.
And they know that since the Gaza Strip's right there next to the Mediterranean, push. Because Gazans and Palestinians have nowhere else to go. That's it. Like, they can't go any further that way. So they have to start going south towards Egypt. Whether or not Egypt opens their borders for a humanitarian crisis, i.e., trying to prevent a genocide. Because what would happen if Egypt let Palestinians give them amnesty, gave them asylum? What do you think would happen to Egypt? Guaranteed war overnight with Egypt. Israel will be like, yep, Egypt's now the new enemy. Oh, we saw Hamas. There was a guy that looked like Hamas over there. There was one guy and that whole group of 1 million people. There was one Hamas soldier in there. We can't identify him, but there had to have been one. It was just one guy. There was one guy in there. we need to invade Egypt. You see? You see? Just install the enemy. Just sit there and say, okay, see, look, see? The enemy, right there. That's Hamas. Get him. Oh, they moved to Gaza. They just flee to Gaza. Okay. Let's gather 300,000 troops, tanks, air support, everything. And we're going to invade this strip of land that is smaller than the city of New York City. Yeah. Because that seems like a reasonable response. And we're going to tell everybody from North Gaza, to get across this river. Okay? And we're going to redraw the lines. I guarantee flat fucking to you. Gaza is going to be dwindling, and then they're going to be like, oh, Hamas is still over there. And nobody's going to do a goddamn thing. Our country, the United States, we're not going to do shit. We're not going to condemn Israel. We're not going to sanction Israel. We're not going to divest from Israel.
Just across these small, like, just so you guys understand how small these are, that's one car. Look, that's a car as seen from satellite. So this is a car of width and like 1 million people. These are not massive bridges, by the way. People are going to get trampled. Yeah, I bet you a lot of these bridges don't have very good railings on the side either. People might get shoved off the sides if they're trying to move across really quickly.
They have weight limits.
How deep is the river? It's a river valley. If you fell off of this, you don't just like plunk in the river, you fall. Here's the big one. I assume this is the main crossing. Salah al-Din, is that the name of the road? Okay. I guess a lot of people will cross here. That's going to be the main crossing then. This one, that's the main one. And then there's a bunch of small...
directly in the center. Won't get any kind of shrapnel, any kind of collateral damage over here. And there's the Mediterranean. Gives you a fuck about the Mediterranean, obviously. Yeah. So right directly in this. Ooh, look at that major vein. Awful lot of people going through here trying to escape over this plot of land. I mean, right there. There's Gaza City, just trying to get over here to Nusrat camp. Yeah, they're just gonna go right through this major artery right here. Oh, look at that. It's a river. So, what's the best way to just completely make sure that we get everybody balled up and just do this little bottlenecking right here, right along the river? What can we do with that? Well, we just take these planes, we just follow along the river, and anywhere there's a bridge, go. And we just say to the news, oh, well, we thought we were attacking Hamas. Oh, and now that the bridges are out, everybody's stuck north of that river. Uh-oh. Well, they're stuck north, and they're still alive. How are we going to solve that problem? Well, they're here, so they also must be Hamas. I mean, funny thing about Nazis is they all wore the same outfit. Nazis are pretty identifiable. So yeah, we have IDF, which is that's the military arm of Israel. Okay, military commission, official military. Hamas is not military. Hamas is a terrorist organization. But they just admitted that Hamas was ISIS. So if Hamas is ISIS, that would also kind of denote that Hamas is Israeli. just by me playing that video that nobody seems to really showcase, and I'm probably going to be the only live streamer that has ever showcased that video. I believe everybody needs to see that video. That interview from 1990. Yeah. Oh, and I don't know what time is it. 9:45. Been streaming for 45 minutes. I mean, yeah, you know, not much I could really cover about this. Now, you know, get through some of the big stuff, but I do want to show one thing. It's pretty fucked up, but kind of proves that Israel as a whole is completely and unequivocally illegally established.
If that bridge even exists still. Yeah, it's also possible that these bridges have been damaged. I don't know how recent the satellite map is. It's possible that a bomb has struck them, or keep in mind, it only takes like an accident with 1 or 2 cars or just any number of incidents to just block a bridge. Like, there's a reason why you can't evacuate people this quickly. Have we got Street View
Armistice agreement
in the Gaza
line.
Strip? Honestly, probably.
Armistice agreement. This is Google Maps, okay, and they're already stating right here. This is the agreement line. There is no agreement. It's just that you know, don't want to come off too fucking oppressive here, but you can tell. I mean, look at this. This is Israeli farmland, and then they got this big empty line right here, and then you got the rest of Gaza. And you see how compact everything is because you have to pack that many people into this little section here. So they got smaller farmlands, so smaller, less arable farmland. Yeah, it's a fucking mess because you have to squeeze 1.1 million people into a span that's about the size of Manhattan. So not easy, not easy.
Nope. Sorry, guys. No Street View down here. That's how bad it is. You can get Street View in Turkmenistan, but not in the Gaza Strip. They're not letting a Google van down here. Maybe we can take a look at this bridge specifically. Salah al-Din Bridge. Napoleon Bonaparte all traveled on it. That's so cool, dude. I love having this like majestic part of human history be left in an open-air concentration camp to rot. That's so cool. Now the genocide of the Palestinian people get to be added to this road's many, many historic accomplishments. Palestinian people get to be added. It's legally not a concentration camp to rot. That's so cool. Now the genocide of the Palestinian people get to be added to this road's many, many historic accomplishments.
Israel, which means telling the Gazans, do not go this way towards the security fence, do not approach the border, only go south. Again, out of a concern.
Keep in mind, again, it's not a border. It's legally not a border. They're not two separate countries. It's a concentration camp wall. It's not a border. If it was, by the way, if it was a border, have you ever heard of a country shooting people for getting close to the edge of their side of the border? Like a country having the authority to gun down people who are on the other side of their border?
For safety of non-combatants.
North and South Korea. That's the situation right there. North and South Korea.
I'll continue to read. Hamas terrorists are hiding in Gaza City, inside tunnels.
Yeah, East Germany, whatever. I know that it's happened before. It's not good when it happens.
Underneath houses and inside buildings populated with innocent Gazan civilians. Civilians of Gaza City, evacuate south.
So the best way to get rid of Hamas terrorists inside these buildings, the best way to do that is to bomb the entire building. I mean, that's literally what you did in against the AP building. You gave them an hour to get out because you certainly want to be accused of committing a war crime against journalists. That would be pretty fucking bad, right? I mean, it doesn't make any difference. Does it make any difference? Because plenty of journalists have died by Israel's hands. Um, Nothing. Not a peep. Nothing happens to Israel. So it doesn't matter if you tell people beforehand what you're gonna do. You can do whatever the fuck you want, Israel. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Nobody's gonna care. What, you think the United States is gonna stand up and say, we don't like that? No. The United States is gonna sit there and be like, well, I guess we'll just let them do whatever the fuck they want. Kind of like when they locked away, like Israel. This was another thing by Israel. Israel literally tried stealing your disaster relief funding for Hurricane Harvey. Yeah, I got video on that too. That's also fucking fun. I think I played it last on stream. So the gloves are off. Okay, this is just fucked situation. Maybe Israel's demands will be like, release Trump and drop all the charges, and then we'll stop doing shit.
Oh, here's a population map of the Gaza. Thank you for whoever provided this. From 2000 to now, the population's like doubled. Look at all those people up in Gaza that'll have to flee across like 6 bridges in 24 hours with no water. It's like the main, the river valley is like right here ish. Yeah, right around here. I don't think I could do that in 24 hours with no water. You fucking kidding me? I need water to live. Is there even enough housing for them on the other side? Do you think they just have 1 million spare homes down here? No. No, not even close. There's not even space on the streets for them. 1 million spare homes of Allah.
Safety and the safety of your families, and distance yourself from Hamas terrorists who are using you as human shields.
Fuck
and
you.
The last
Fuck
paragraph
you.
in the
Fuck
following
you.
days.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're using fucking Gazans as fucking human shields, you motherfuckers. You're using Hamas as a fucking human shield, so you can go and justify your fucking genocide. Yeah, I know my language is harsh. You know what else is pretty fucking harsh? Genocide. I think my language is a little bit down lower on the scale compared to a fucking active genocide.
The IDF will continue to operate with significant force in Gaza City and will make extensive efforts to to avoid harming civilians.
I'm sure.
That's the message that we issued a few hours ago to Gazan civilians, and the aim here is to minimize the damage to civilians. There are significant combat operations.
So they have about
damage to civilians, almost like civilians are fucking property. Yeah, dehumanize.
21 hours left before the hammer of God.
21 hours. This video was posted. This video was posted 6 hours before his live stream. This was uploaded 4 hours ago. It's 10 hours. Literally, the people of Gaza probably have like less than 9 to 10 hours left. That's why this is an emergency stream. That's why this is an emergency stream.
Strikes them.
Ongoing, and we are preparing for future and the continuance of our combat operations, and out of an understanding that there are civilians here whom are not our enemy and we do not want to target them. We are asking them to evacuate so that we will be able to continue to strike military targets belonging to Hamas in the Gaza Strip.
Except the fact that Hamas is not military. It's an organization. It's guerrilla at the very least. Vietnam was less of a fuckfest than this.
Hospitals and aid organizations are up north. They cannot move an entire hospital to the south. Oh, don't worry. The hospitals ran out of power, so it doesn't really matter. Powerless hospital to the north, no hospital to the south are both equally incapable of treating people.
That is the purpose, and I think that's an important update, relevant for you to be aware of. This is a first notice that we gave. We understand that this will take time. It's not an easy process, but we have issued this guidance, and the aim...
The George Washington Bridge linking Manhattan to New Jersey is one of the most heavily used bridges in the world, with daily traffic of between 275,000 and 300,000 vehicles. 1 million will be fine. Jesus. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good way of putting it in perspective. When people have cars, there it is, even using cars on a modern bridge, it's still like a third of the number of people who need to go south. The Great Washington Bridge gets clogged every day. Yeah. Are you saying if Gaza had appropriate public transit, this would be less hassle? Yes. If Hamas had only built a robust underground subway network, what? The Gaza Strip is one of the most densely populated places on Earth. It could be an urbanist paradise if only they would invest in public transportation. Half joking.
Of the evacuation is simply to save lives. As you may have read in the media, this was communicated to UN authorities, first and foremost to UN authorities, and the IDF is in communications and liaison with UN authorities.
It's like listening to fucking Hitler. It's like listening to one of those pastors that really fucking hates you as a person. Fucking headache inducing.
Transferring information to them. And
yeah, oh shit. This is why right-wingers don't support a 15-minute city. Look at that. We have a 15-minute city. It's called Gaza. And what's about to happen to them? Exactly. This is what our government would do to us in a 15-minute city as well. Keep us penned in an open-air concentration camp and invade if we misbehave.
Also listening to what the UN informs Israel about the humanitarian situation in Gaza. And as I've said many times during the last 7 days, the IDF remains fully committed to the law of international conflict.
Oh, yeah, totally.
In sharp contrast to the enemies around us and to Hamas, which is in total disregard of anything related to values, norms, and definitely not the law.
Yeah, Hamas kills babies in the barbaric way by beheading them, as opposed to the civilized way of killing babies with indiscriminate airstrikes and cutting off their water and power. See, if only Hamas could join the rest of the world. These barbaric Islamists just aren't capable of the sophistication and grace of the modern West. If only Hamas had killed Israelis with indiscriminate airstrikes, then everyone would be on their side. But those fools, they didn't even know.
Of armed conflict. The other things that are important for everyone to know, I think, are related to casualties. Unfortunately, the number of Israeli casualties has risen again to 1,300 Israeli civilians and soldiers, and more than 3,000 wounded. There is a massive national effort involving almost all of the security organizations and many of the ministries of the Israeli state, which is focused on taking the body.
YouTube chat just got raided by Lonerbox. What's up, Lonerbox? Lonerboxers? Boxers?
From the same communities that we spoke about yesterday, like, for instance, Kfar Aza, Be'eri, and Nahal Oz, and many other communities in the entire southern area, collecting...
Yeah, Sam, and it's incredibly to think about that if I was in the Gaza Strip, I would be older than between 80 and 85% of the people there. I would be in the top, like, like, 15% of age. Yeah, I'd be a village elder over there. Why is it so low? People don't live very long in the Gaza Strip. Also, they had a bunch of babies because if you're poor and you have nothing to do, you
the bodies, bringing them to a center in Tel Aviv, identifying them, and then making sure that their next of kin, their loved ones, are able to take them and to provide them a final and respectable burial. That's ongoing. It is a tedious and long and very detailed process, taking lots of resources.
I got a solution for you. I got a solution for you, fuckface. You won't like it very much, but too fucking bad. This is probably the best thing that happened to Israel. Israel as a state needs to be dismantled. Just completely disavowed. Like, Israel? That's a state? That's a country? Just completely dissolved. Best thing to happen. I guess we just treat it like how Germans treat Nazis in Germany. Yeah, that's prison time.
for show, right? Yes, this is all for show. What he's doing right here is trying to establish an illusion of concern for civilian casualties. This guy, it's propaganda. This guy's job is to get people on board with their upcoming invasion and make it seem as though this is some like big protracted humanitarian effort. He's a monster. They're all monsters.
Have never ever in our history been forced to deal with such a situation, and
there's a reason it's in English. That is true. There is a reason this is in English.
It is ongoing. It will take days, and as we match and identify more and more of the Israeli bodies that are uncovered in the communities, we will have more information about missing persons and perhaps the whereabouts of people that we are still at this stage not aware of where they are. And clearly loved ones are looking for them, asking questions and demanding those answers, and we are working hard at providing those answers.
Okay.
Other than that,
do you think this will lead to more Israeli annexation of the Gaza Strip? Probably not. It might lead to occupation, but I don't see annexation as very likely. I think it's more likely that a massive number of Palestinians die as like a punishment, like they bring the whip down, and then they just sort of let the Gaza Strip rot with like accompaniment of IDF soldiers in the interior to occasionally, like, I don't know, kill people for throwing rocks or whatever.
The Northern Front, which we have spoken about a few times, has been relatively stable over the last hours. We are on high alert on the north, as we have been over the last few days, with enhanced troops, vigilant, watching the actions of Hezbollah. And same thing could be said about the Golan Heights. So we spoke about Lebanon and the Golan Heights. As we begin the 7th day of this war against Hamas, I wish to emphasize what our aim is. Our aim is to take
genocide.
all of Hamas's military abilities and strip them away. At the end of this war, our intention is that Hamas will no longer have any ability to strike or harm or kill Israeli civilians.
Of course.
That is the purpose of what we're doing now inside.
You're going to disarm yourselves?
That is why the Israeli Air Force has been delivering significant amounts of ordnance, of bombs on the Gaza Strip, and that is what we will continue to do as this war unfolds, and as we will deal a decisive blow to Hamas for the horrible, heinous acts that they have done.
Cool. Thanks.
Oh, perfect
This
fucking picture.
This order apparently initially went out 5 hours ago.
5 hours. Okay.
Okay, so that means the people of northern Gaza Strip, the people of Gaza, have 19 hours now.
19 hours.
I doubt that it'll.
So he's going by 19 hours. Okay, so he's just now like right on the ball. Okay. His stream was 4 hours ago, so they have 15 hours left. Ironically, tomorrow is an eclipse, so there's going to be an eclipse. So there you go. Photos are in line with some celestial events there. So yeah, I say we move on to the next part. Let's find out why. Just find out why. 1973 war. Yom Kippur War. Arab-Israeli War of October 1973. Started with Egyptian. Okay, yeah. History Channel. Yom Kippur. Ramadan War. October War 1973. The Fourth Arab-Israeli War was an armed conflict from 6th to 25th November 1973. Between Israel and coalition Arab states led by Egypt and Syria. Majority of combat between two sides between the Sinai Peninsula and the Golan Heights, both of which were occupied by Israel in 1967. Some fighting in African Egypt and northern Israel. Egypt's initial objective in the war was to cede a foothold on the eastern bank of Suez Canal, and subsequently labor achieved gains in negotiating to return of the rest of Israeli occupied Sinai Peninsula. Okay, war began on October 6, 1973. So count backwards from the 13th. I'll get you right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look at that. Wow. Very convenient. Because what's 7? What's 14 minus 7? That would be 7. So what's 13 minus 7? That would make it 6. So yeah, this started right on the 6th. My guess is it's probably going to happen again. It's going to go from the 6th to the 25th. War began on 6th October 1973 when the Arab coalition jointly launched a surprise attack against Israel on the Jewish holiday day of Yom Kippur, which had occurred during the 10th day of Islamic holy month Ramadan in that year. Following the outbreak of hostilities, both the United States and the Soviet Union initiated massive resupply efforts for their allies, Israel and the Arab states, respectively, during the war, which led to confrontation between nuclear armed superpowers. Now, you can only guess who the Soviet Union supported. I mean, come on. I mean, clearly the Soviet Union supported Israel, right? No. Right, because they saw, the Soviet Union saw what Israel was doing and said, yeah, we don't want to be part of that. Yep. So read up on this. This is a lot to, yeah, look at this. Holy shit. But yeah, just give you a little bit of context of, 1973, calculator. You know, you just do the math. Okay, we're gonna do the math. 2023 minus 1973 equals. Oh, look at that, 50 years. Really convenient number, huh? Yeah, clearly it was Hamas. Had to have been. Couldn't have been Israel. Israel paints itself as the victim, and then, oh no, we need world support here. We're the victim. We're the victim. Look, we made ourselves into the victim. We're the victim. So, we're not done yet. Yeah, this is fucked anyway. Let's see if it's still on there. So, interview. Israel. Okay. I don't know if it's still on there. It's been a long time, and it might have been even taken down. Who knows? The Economist. Israel and Palestinians, the century of conflict. Yeah, okay. Yeah, The Economist. I'm sure they're going to take the side of Palestinians. Actually, no. Balfour Declaration. Bloomberg. Wall Street Journal. Oh. Hard to find 2017 interview with Jacob Rothschild about Israel and Balfour Declaration. I think I might end on this one.
It's 67 words long, it's 100 years old, and it changed the course of history for the Middle East and the Jewish people. The Balfour Declaration, the expression of the British government's support for a Jewish home in Palestine, was sent by British...
So you're openly, directly stating that it was the result of the British rule, the British crown. So yeah, that's nice. That's fucking lovely.
Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour to the second Lord Rothschild. I'm here in Buckinghamshire at Waddesdon Manor to speak with the fourth Lord Rothschild about the Balfour Declaration, what it means for Britain, for the Jewish people, and the Rothschild family.
The Foreign Office, November the 2nd, 1917. Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following...
Listen to the fucking music. They're so happy about this. (1917) World War I.
Declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been...
Zionism. There's your evidence right there. They're fucking Zionists.
Been submitted to and approved by the cabinet.
So it's possibly the most famous letter.
You didn't ask the Palestinian people, did you? Did you ask for their consent? No, you didn't.
In modern Jewish history, and it begins with 3 words. Dear Lord Rothschild. Why was it that this letter was sent by the Foreign Secretary to your great-uncle Walter?
It's an interesting question because he was really interested in ornithology, although he became interested in Zionism. I think the reason was this, that it was primarily a movement from Eastern Europe, but they didn't clarify who was in charge of that movement. And in addition,
Eastern Europe? You mean like Berlin Wall, like Eastern Europe? Like somehow it's got some communist ideals? That, oh, okay. Whatever.
it was, after all, in Great Britain. So they felt that the Rothschild family should be the one to whom it was addressed. And Walter was Lord Rothschild, and he was a Zionist. And those really are the background reasons.
So Walter received the Balfour Declaration, and I have a copy here. And I wonder if I could possibly ask you to read it for us.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. I'm going to put on my spectacles to make sure I read it accurately.
Gotta rip off your testicles.
His Majesty's government view with favour the establishment of Palestine as a national home for the Jewish people, and will use their best endeavours to facilitate the achievement of this object, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine.
Even the Balfour Declaration, which was going to actively genocide Palestine, is more humanitarian than Israel itself. The document, the Balfour Declaration, is more humanitarian, more humane than Israel itself.
Or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation. Yours, Arthur Balfour.
Oh my fucking
and
God.
And here it is, the Balfour Declaration. What do you feel when you see it here?
I genuinely feel it's one of the most extraordinary moments in the history of the Jewish people. If you think it took 3,000 years to get to this. And then you say, how did this miracle happen? It's the most incredible piece of opportunism. I mean, if you think you had an impoverished would-be scientist, Chaim Weizmann, who somehow gets to England, meets a few people, including members of my family, seduces them. He has such great charm and conviction. He gets to Balfour, and he unbelievably persuades Balfour and Lloyd George, the Prime Minister, and most of the ministers, that this idea of the national home for Jews should be allowed to take place. I mean, it's so unlikely. Then he's, starts to fight a difficult battle with the British cabinet, and this letter goes through 5 drafts, as you know. And in the end, it comes out as a rather compromising letter. I mean, the essential point is there for the Jewish community to fasten on to. You have the first bit, which promises a national home rather than the national home, and then you have the bit that nothing that's to be done should, in any way...
Suggesting maybe plural?
way harm the Arab community.
Oh, huh. Well, gee, I'd say we just go back to the Balfour Declaration. I guess nobody read it, have they? And plain fucking English. Maybe they should have wrote it in Yiddish. Yeah, then maybe then it probably would have been abided by, but nah.
But you come back to the big point, which is that this is perhaps the greatest event in Jewish life for thousands of years. And it's a miracle that it took place.
And of course, the Rothschild family, then as now...
They pulled it out of their ass. They said, well, You know, we slaughtered the Canaanites. What's one more group? We'll just give fucking Palestine, former land of Canaanites. We'll just give them a fucking give them the land on a fucking silver platter. Why not?
Now filled two roles because it wasn't just a leader of diaspora Jewry. It also played a very significant role in the early years of the establishment of the pioneer communities in Israel as well.
There were two branches of the Rothschild family primarily concerned. One in France through Baron Edmond Rothschild, who was the one who responded to the Russian programs of the 1880s. In England, there was a divide. Some of the Rothschilds, in particular Baron Edmond's son, James, known as Jimmy, had come from France, partly because of the Dreyfus case and his horror about what had happened, to live in England. He was educated at Cambridge University. And he married an English girl, Mrs. James de Rothschild, and she became a leader at a very young age. She was only 17 when she started writing to Weizmann and introducing him to the British establishment. Other Rothschilds felt it was better to be assimilated into English life, and although they retained their interest in Judaism and Jewish life, they didn't think it was a good thing that this national home should be established in Israel. So it was something that divided my family, as with many other families.
I wonder, as somebody who moves in the highest echelons of British society and is very close to Israel, whether you in your life feel a tension between concern for Israel and loyalty to Britain?
No, I don't personally feel that. I mean, I've been completely committed to Israel since the early 1960s and have been there every year since. So I don't feel that conflict, but I, of course, feel huge loyalty to Great Britain.
Just tell us a little bit more about Walter, the second Lord Rothschild, because he was an unusual and colourful character.
He was a deeply eccentric man, but from a very early age, his passion was collecting. He rode about Tring Park on a giant tortoise. He had a zebra carriage.
A carriage pulled by zebras.
Yes. He collected on a massive scale.
What an eccentric gentleman.
Insects, fleas,
It was
butterflies.
The largest single collection created by a single individual.
I think that's true. I think certainly in Great Britain, I think probably anywhere, he was the greatest collector of ornithological material.
His niece, Miriam, writes that for 2 years, as one of his eccentricities, he didn't open any of the letters that were sent to him and stuffed them away into wicker baskets. And it does make you wonder what would have happened if the Balfour Declaration, the letter had been one of those letters that he'd actually,
Yes,
stuffed.
That's true. At that stage, and it's very difficult to quite understand why, he had taken a deep interest in what was happening about the possible Balfour Declaration. So maybe those letters would have got to the top of his file.
I just want to revisit for a moment your cousin Dorothy, who you mentioned, who at an extraordinarily young age, still in her teens, played such a critical role as a go-between and a facilitator for Chaim Weizmann. Can you say a little bit about that?
Well, she married my cousin Jimmy when she was 17.
So this is your cousin Dorothy, Dolly.
Yep, Mrs. James de Rothschild.
And from her teenage years onwards, she was a major supporter of Israel, wasn't she?
Major supporter. I mean, she worshipped her husband, who'd been deeply committed, son of Baron Edmond. It was due to him, I think, that she became interested. But once she became interested, she became passionately interested. After his death, she became even more committed. She just wanted to carry out his wishes and what he cared deeply about. And then she had her own personality, a deeply good human being who was quite unselfish. She devoted herself to this place, to Israel, and to a few friends, and had a wonderful life. And you can read letters from her to Weizmann and from Weizmann to her when she was only 17. And what she did, which was crucially important, was to connect up Weizmann with the British establishment.
I think she also trained him in how to deal. She helped educate how to
and it's
conduct himself.
At that age, but she did sort of tell Weizmann, you know, how to kind of integrate, how to insert himself into British establishment life, which he learned very quickly.
So I'm here in the Waddesdon Manor archives, where there is a treasure trove of remarkable documents from the time of the Balfour Declaration. We have the correspondence here between the teenage Dorothy and her husband James, and it's really a love story. Here Dorothy is writing to James. She says, "Jimmy, I thought I would not like one day to pass without giving you a piece of news you have never heard before. I love you." But of course their correspondence wasn't just romantic correspondence. Here we have detailed letters describing her dealings with Zionist leaders, her advice and her suggestions regarding the conferences of the Zionist movement. And here we have a letter that the young Dorothy, still not 20, sent to Dr. Chaim Weizmann, where she's talking about the meetings that she's arranged for him. And as we've heard, she was helpful in training and preparing him to enter into the highest echelons of British society to advance the cause of the Zionist movement. She was an important character in your life as well. She really introduced you to Israel in some way.
She was a crucially important character in my life. I became a trustee of Yad Hanadiv over 50 years ago.
Which is the Rothschild Philanthropic Foundation.
Yeah, it's been our foundation. And I think I first went in 1962.
Can you share with us your sense of what things have been changing in Israel since that first visit?
Yes. As Israel, I think, became more and more successful in all sorts of ways, industrially successful, absorption successful,
militarily successful,
technologically successful, great universities. The problems with the wars that took place, being the clearest examples of security, became more paramount. And so you did see a shift in Israel from kind of the liberal Western place that it had been in the early 60s to something of a very different character. And you also have a shift, of course, between communities in Israel. I mean, Israel is a patchwork of different immigrants from different countries. And you have the religious, you have the non-religious, you have a town like Tel Aviv, which is attractive to the kind of business community, to what I would call ordinary city life. And then you have Jerusalem, which remains a very religious city and full of conflict between Arab neighbors and itself.
Those internal issues within the fabric of Israeli society are one of the main focuses of Yad Hanadiv. Can you mention just one or two of the projects that feel to you most significant?
Yes, we do a great deal of work on education, a great deal of academic work. We keep going
Subjective.
Ramat Hanadiv, the garden where Baron Edmond was eventually buried. We're on the point of building the new National Library of Israel. Two unexpected ones, perhaps. If you take the Orthodox community, it's important that they have employment. And we're trying to develop programs which it's possible for them to undertake. Similarly, you have a problem with Arab unemployment, and we set up jointly with the government employment centres to facilitate greater employment of Arabs within Israel. And so we're an active foundation trying to help with these fissures in Israeli life and to do some good.
And we're sitting here looking forward to the 100th anniversary of this significant letter. If I can just ask you to think about the next centennial, 100 years' time, and just maybe share some of your hopes, your aspirations about where Israel will be.
What does one hope for? One, of course, hopes for a peaceful relationship with Israel's neighbors, and that's going to be the most difficult matter of all to achieve. But even now you can see, with the disarray in the Middle East and the importance of relationships that Israel is developing, not only with Jordan, but also with Egypt and indeed with Saudi Arabia, even if they're not publicized because of the Sunni-Shiite war, there's hope. And I think if you take the need of Arab nations to have intelligence help, and if on the other hand you take compassion and generosity coming from Israel to Palestinian territories and its less fortunate neighbors, there are grounds for optimism. And I am
When the
optimist.
fuck did that ever happen?
Lord Rothschild, thank you very much indeed.
No, thank
Yeah,
you.
go fuck yourself. Just absolutely fucking atrocious. That just gives you a little bit of context of what's going on here, and just, you know, letting everybody know that Israel was a front established by the Rothschilds, and everybody knows the track record the Rothschilds have held. So yeah, down to what? Fucking 14 hours before we actively see with our own two eyes this generation, all the millennials, all the Gen Zers, all everybody, even the Gen Xers, they're going to see this in their own lifetime. They're going to see an active genocide. So I figured I might as well put my part out there and at least let everybody know what's going on. Protests and boycotting of Israel, I am heavily in favor of that. I wouldn't even know what organizations to start with to give Palestinians some support. People in Gaza Strip, like, fuck it, you know. I'll support Gaza, Red Cross, NPR. That would help victims of Israel-Hamas war. Well, I'm sure that's going to be pretty wise. Let's see what American Red Cross is doing. Release from humanitarian crisis. Member of line check mail. Donation form to address form of the local Red Cross chapter. So American Red Cross, NPR. Okay, yeah. Under full siege, yeah, because that's the best way to go and stock up Hamas. Is just basically cutting off just everything, and saying, there you go, we'll just starve them out. So 2.3 million people, 2 million Palestinians are going to suffer because you're going after this ghost of an enemy. Residents are unable to leave Gaza since the only border crossing to Egypt is closed after being hit by Israeli airstrikes. That also means basic necessity and emergency relief can't get in. So there's just some more news. They can't even escape to Egypt. Now, tell me, how in the fuck that's not an active genocidal act? Tell me, what was the point of that? What was the point of bombing South Gaza? What was the point of that? What was the point of bombing right there along the border between Israel and Gaza Strip? Why bomb that? Why bomb that specifically? We're talking about a sliver of land between the Mediterranean and Israel. This little tiny sliver of land, probably a couple miles across. Why bomb that? Oh my eye. Why bomb that? You know? Why do that? Almost like you're trying to trap people inside a little bubble. Oh, they can't come across here. They can't go out to the fucking Mediterranean. You're stuck. You're stuck in this little box. And we're going to slowly just ease our way in. Voss says that they're not going to annex. They're going to fucking annex. They're going to fucking annex. Guaranteed. If they can't annex, they'll fucking occupy. And believe me, that's just as fucking... You might as well just say they fucking annexed it. If they're occupying the space, what the fuck else do you think they're going to do with the place? Hey, LA decided to show up. Explosive powder keg situation said in a statement. We know how this plays out time and time again. Loss of Israeli and Palestinian lives and incalculable suffering inflicted on both communities. So down here, Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, recommends searching charities' names along complaint, review, rating, and scam. See if the red flags come up. Another red flag would be if their website didn't have detailed information about its mission and programs, or you don't get a receipt after donating. Charity Watch and Charity Navigator. Okay, cool. Tourists giving the organization rather than presence on the ground stay involved in long-term sex NPR. Family of Israeli soldier killed by Hamas militants cries at a funeral on Thursday. I wonder, are they going to show anything here? Palestinian rescuers search rubble destroy buildings in Rafah in the southern Gaza Strip on Thursday. This is the South Gaza Strip where they're telling everybody to go to. So they've already are bombing the south. So now they're going to start bombing the north. So just kind of going back and forth here, you know. Can't go to the south, can't go to the north. What are they supposed to do? Just stay like directly? Oh, and then the window just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller until they find that one Hamas soldier, that one Hamas dude that they've been looking for the entire time within the span of that strip. That's that one dude. Oh, we finally found him, and we arrested him conveniently. We're gonna go arrest. We'll arrest that one Hamas soldier we've been looking for. We bombed the entirety of Gaza Strip. There's nowhere else to live. We're swatting a fly with a fucking bazooka, and yeah, we got that one soldier, that one Hamas terrorist. And then they do an investigation. Turns out it's just like 9/11 all over again. Yeah, sure. It was hijackers. Uh-huh. Doctors Without Borders, International Community Red Cross, International Rescue Committee, Israel Aid. Now, mind you, Palestine doesn't get their own little international thing here. Largest humanitarian aid organization in Israel and responded to global disasters in over 50 countries. It's collecting donations through its emergency response fund. It says plans developing. Okay, now I want you to be very careful. You're donating and shit. I want you to be very careful. Make sure to check through the clauses and everything. If they have you sign anything swearing your allegiance to Israel, do not fucking sign those. Do not sign those. They've already done some shit in fucking Hurricane Harvey. They've already done that shit. So let's see here. Let's see if I can find the. They might have even taken the channel down. Just go to YouTube. Shut up. Yeah, I think it's been taken down. I'm not seeing anything. Hmm. The channel name, it's not there. Oh, wait. Cultivate Hearts. Okay, maybe it is. Okay, okay. All right, I found it. God damn, they got good fucking streams on here. Cool. Let's go do a search. It's what the fuck is this? How do you do a search on the channel? Like, just videos. Dragon Ball Zionism. Geopolitical Truth. (9/11) Israel Trump connection case closed. Just about the Golan Heights. The biggest lie in human history. These are all pretty old videos. I don't know if they got what's this? Hmm. 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 It's like not there anymore. Attacks on Syria. Yeah. Her hate requires pro-Israel pledge. Boycott Israel. No U.S. state jobs or aid for you. City of Dickinson defends harbor relief requirement regarding Israel. Wow. Texas City, if you want hurricane relief money, you can't boycott Israel. That's secular talk. That's Kyle Kalinske. 5 years ago. The Young Turds. The Israel Project. Israel sends aid to Houston, Hurricane Harvey. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. Under the, you know, the stipulation that you swear allegiance to Israel, of course, you know. Yeah. Real nice folks. Let me read this shit or watch this shit.
Tonight, a little-known state requirement to get Harvey relief money is raising eyebrows, and the city of Dickinson is facing criticism because of it. Josh Chapman joins us now to explain.
Good.
Josh?
Len, it all has to do with this. It's House Bill 89, just signed into law this summer. It basically says if anyone wants to do business with the state of Texas, you cannot boycott the nation of Israel. That's because Texas is Israel's biggest trade partner in the U.S. Tonight, the ACLU says the law is unconstitutional, and the city of Dickinson.
Wow. Do you guys hear that? You cannot do that. Israel is a foreign nation. You cannot do that.
Is all caught in the middle. The city of Dickinson took a major hit during Hurricane Harvey. Nearly 80% of its homes affected by flooding.
We have an expense with Hurricane Harvey that we, at this point, probably cannot cover.
In the aftermath, donations poured in to help the city and its citizens.
The total came to a little over $1 million, and so we needed to figure out a way
$1 million?
to get those funds into the hands of the citizens that needed it most.
Mayor Julie Masters and other officials created a grant relief program so they could best allocate that money. Public money that became subject to the same laws of the state, a.k.a. House Bill 89.
We had to include that verbiage in that statute that was required in that statute.
Its wording now included in the Hurricane Harvey repair grant application from the city of Dickinson.
We're just the messenger. Don't crucify us.
Oh, bull fucking shit. Yeah, you're just a messenger. Mm-hmm.
State law.
The American Civil Liberties Union said that Galveston, San Antonio, and Austin have all implemented this law. But Dickinson believes it's the first community to be spotlighted.
It's very disheartening. We're trying to do something good for the people of our community that have suffered.
This law requires any state contractor, including disaster relief recipients, to certify that they are not participating in the boycott of Israel. And according to the ACLU, that is unconstitutional.
Absolutely.
Dickinson said it will be talking with state officials to try to get some clarification on the wording of this law next week. Len, over to you.
All right, Josh, thanks.
Okay. FTX, of course. Crypto. Action Aid, just NARA, Doctors Without Borders. Yeah, just all these organizations here. I'll probably post this link in the description. Yeah, this is just fucking beyond. You heard it here, folks. You can't even donate without it being like, well, since you donated to Israel, I guess that means you swear allegiance to Israel. So if we do something really fucky wucky, we can trust on your support. You know, commit an act of genocide. Yeah, you'll stand behind us, right? Because that's what it's boiling down to. If you're actively supporting Israel, you already know what Israel's capable of. If you already know what's going on, if you know that Palestinians are getting slaughtered by Israelis, and you still support Israel, then yeah, you're no better than a fucking Nazi. And the best thing for a Nazi, well, they're still to this day trying to arrest Nazis. There was one up in Canada. They gave him a standing ovation, and then they found out he was a Nazi. So now Poland wants to have him arrested and shipped back and get tried and all that. So yeah, so there's that. So in the meantime, I guess I'll be signing off because there's nothing really I can do. All I can do is show you the humanitarian aid and show you the evil doings. Just me doing this live stream is going to compromise my safety and security, just because of my stance against Israel, my stance against, genocides in general. I was in a debate online on Instagram, and yeah, somebody was actively trying to support the genocide, saying it's God's will. The destruction of the Canaanites, that's God's will. They were so wicked in their ways that they deserved to die. No trial or nothing. They were so wicked that God destroyed them, and they deserved it because of that. That's it. So you are dealing with mentally ill people here, okay? You are dealing with people that need to be mentally assessed and probably put in a psych ward. So yeah, just be careful that people are nuts. Prepare yourself, because it's only going to go downhill from here. Israel will be taking an active stance against Gaza Strip, and then it's well. The end goal, if I can find it, there was a map of what they want to do. They want to go into Jordan, I'm pretty sure. I gotta find it. It's pretty fucking harrowing. No, if I can. Oh, here we go. Greater Israel. Here we go. Yeah, just gotta put in there Greater Israel. Okay, so there you go. This is the plan. Okay. Do you see Hamas in here? Any? Here's old Israel. Okay, this is Israel right here. Yeah, this little plot right here. Yeah, this is not gonna be significant anymore. They're gonna go into Egypt. So that means all of Gaza Strip, the Suez Canal. Take care of take over that. I'm sure they're probably gonna go right into here. And you're gonna try to draw a straight line. Try to have fun. And this is all Saudi Arabia, so you're gonna cut right through Saudi Arabia. There's Saudis that live here. They're gonna cut right through that. So that's what is that? What is that town? That they're gonna cut right through. I mean, just right through it. But yeah, this is the plan of Greater Israel here. Okay, just cut right into Egypt. There's the Red Sea. Gonna cut right through the Red Sea. If I can find a map with these towns on here that was actually clear. Yeah, here's this is the Promised Land. Yeah, these are pretty old maps. They go pretty fucking old of where they plan on taking over. Yep, Greater Israel. Yep, flag map of Greater Israel. Yep. Disappearing Palestine. Here was all Palestine, 1946. The UN plan. There you go. And then, so there you go. Palestinians. There's Palestinians here. Oh, look at that. There's the Gaza Strip. And here's what's left of Palestine. And in 2012, look at this. And then the Gaza Strip right there. That's how important the Gaza Strip is. That's how important the Gaza Strip is. It has existed since Israel's inception. Gaza Strip, that was it. That's that little tiny little bitty sliver right there that's not Israel. The Gaza Strip is a little tiny piece that's not Israel. And now this is about to disappear. This part right here, where my fingers at, I don't know if you can see it on the cursor, but right there. Right there. This little box right here is going to be left, north, Gaza City, completely gone. Guaranteed. It's gone. And then as far as Greater Israel is concerned, it just completely swallows it all up. So it's gone. Like, you know. You think they're going to leave Gaza Strip there for this huge ass plot of land? No. Nope. Nope. So that's the plan. Yep. Greater Israel planned extreme. And Begali, Israeli history. Yep. So, Netanyahu is New Hitler. That's probably what his name translates to, is New Hitler. Netanyahu still in power. There was going to be somebody to replace him, and he was assassinated, so yeah. Look at there. There's your ministry right there. Foreign ministry. So there you go. It's almost 11 o'clock. Been at this for about 2 hours and covered a lot. Hopefully it's going to be enough. Because we're down to probably like, 13 hours left before we're going to watch the eclipse tomorrow, but I think tomorrow we're all going to wake up to a different world, a world where Nazism still exists, where genocides and oppression and fascism still very much in existence. If I could just read what that little town is. But yeah, they're just going to cut right through it. So, anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe. I'm not going to suggest that. Just prepare. Keep your eye on the news, because any sort of political dissonance at this point, still actively protest against Israel. I'm sure Pink Floyd's doing their part. Roger Waters, definitely. Roger Waters isn't even allowed to play in Israel anymore, so and follow Abby Martin. And just hope for the best here. Hope for the best for the Gazan people, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and we're gonna have to give them as much support as possibly can. So I'll put some links in the description, and I'm gonna cite the things that I found, the videos, Vosh's video, and yeah, that'll be all. So good luck, and Good night.